What if I told you America's downfall in Vietnam wasn't just military? It was emotional, psychological, and deeply human, hidden behind barbed wires and neon lights. Beyond the battlefield, an invisible war unfolded in the back streets and brothels of Saigon, a war of trust, love, betrayal, and intelligence that quietly changed history. Vietnamese women, caught between survival and war, became silent players in espionage. Many were forced by poverty or coercion into sexual relationships with American soldiers. These interactions weren't mere romance. They became a powerful weapon of information. Viet Cong agents knew every soldier's weakness, loneliness, and desire for comfort. Women were strategically placed near bases, bars, and camps to gather secrets. Whispered conversations turned into intelligence leaks that reached enemy command overnight. A single misplaced word could cost dozens of American lives in ambushes. These women risked their lives too, often under threats from both sides. For many, it wasn't choice. It was war's cruel economy of survival. American soldiers spent billions on the underground Saigon nightlife and prostitution between 1967 and 1971. The CIA later estimated that nearly 30% of such establishments were Viet Cong run. Behind laughter and music, coded information about troop movements quietly changed hands. Military police discovered secret maps and radio transmitters in city guest houses. Some Vietnamese women even served as couriers, passing messages disguised as love letters. Disease also spread rapidly, weakening morale and combat readiness among U.S. troops. By 1969, almost 1 in 4 soldiers had contracted infections in Southeast Asia. Medical units were overwhelmed and discipline eroded across frontline divisions. Meanwhile, propaganda painted U.S. troops as morally corrupt and losing purpose. Hanoi's intelligence network exploited every scandal that came from American bases. Reports of misconduct reached U.S. media, fueling anti-war protests back home. Suddenly, American soldiers weren't heroes. They were symbols of chaos abroad. Women in war zones became tools of both compassion and control. Their presence offered comfort to broken men, yet carried deadly consequences. Some infiltrators memorized troop rosters, supply routes, and upcoming patrol schedules. They relayed those details through coded phone calls or hidden letters. The Viet Cong called this tactic the soft trap, gentle but deadly. U.S. intelligence was slow to react, underestimating the scale of infiltration. Psychological warfare became more effective than bullets or bombs. Every compromised secret meant another ambush, another platoon lost in the jungle. By 1970, desertion rates in the U.S. Army had doubled from 1965. Morale had collapsed. Soldiers distrusted locals and even their own superiors. In Saigon, the black market thrived as war fatigue spread through the ranks. Many soldiers confessed to feeling emotionally manipulated, yet unable to resist comfort. The line between compassion and strategy blurred completely by the war's end. When Saigon fell in 1975, thousands of women were left behind. Some bore children of American fathers who never returned to take them. Others were executed by the Viet Cong for collaboration with the enemy. The war had taken everything: lives, honor, trust, and identity. U.S. generals never officially acknowledged how relationships influenced military outcomes, but classified documents revealed entire intelligence leaks linked to human connections. War historians later called it the unseen battlefield of emotions. More than 2 million Vietnamese civilians died during the 2-decade conflict. 58,000 American soldiers lost their lives, yet victory remained elusive. America's might was unmatched, but its understanding of human vulnerability was not. Vietnam proved that wars are not only fought with guns and tanks, they're also fought with whispers, emotions, and the hunger to feel human. The Viet Cong exploited what no army manual could prepare men for. Love became weaponized, and information became more valuable than ammunition. The U.S. government spent over $168 billion, yet couldn't buy victory. Every failed strategy revealed another layer of psychological defeat. The battlefield had moved from jungles to hotel rooms and hearts. The cost wasn't just measured in money, but in dignity and trust. The women of Vietnam became both victims and victors of silent warfare. Their role remains one of the least told truths of the Vietnam War. History remembers battles, but rarely the quiet exchanges that changed them. And in those shadows, America's greatest military defeat quietly took shape.